My name is Hazel King'ori, currently the Manager for Public Relations and Research at the Association of Kenya Insurers. I have been in the PR industry, this is my 16th year, and before that I worked at the Communications Authority of Kenya as Assistant Manager for Communications, and before that I worked in a PR and marketing agency. It's good to have professional papers. It's important to have that because it gives you the practical skills, and even once you get that, continuous learning, things are always changing. Now we are facing issues to do with AI, robotics and all of that. So keeping abreast with all of this, and now that all these things are available online, really the world is your oyster. You have no excuse not to keep learning. I've just finished a course on finance for non-finance managers, and that has just opened a whole new world for me with regard to my work and how it relates to the finances of the organization and whichever organization I'm working in. So yeah, that lifelong learning, and also expand it beyond PR, learn about other things. One thing I believe in is always giving your best, whatever position, whatever role you're given. So I believe I've done my best, and I think another factor for success for me is when your absence is felt, then it means your presence was necessary. In my current role, I think some of the most significant accomplishments is a lot of stakeholder engagement. You might not see it publicly, but behind the scenes, we've done quite a bit of work with regard to stakeholder engagement, just making sure that the insurance company interests are well represented among various stakeholders. Previous roles, I would want to cite two key achievements. One was the rebranding from Communications Commission of Kenya to Communications Authority of Kenya. I was the lead for communications for that initiative. And the other one was the shift from analog television to digital television. I was part of the communications team that led that initiative. An ideal working environment for me is where there's clear policies and procedures. And then over and above that, you have the freedom now to create solutions to the various issues that the business is trying to address. I think the most challenging thing being a supervisor is creating an environment where everybody thrives, because everybody is different. In as much as a supervisor, I'll want to understand how does one person work compared to another person. Creating an environment where now these people with all different personalities and different ways of working, thriving, is what can be a bit tricky. So we are creating that environment where everybody feels they can contribute, they can grow, no idea is crazy, or there's no right or wrong answer. So having that environment exist, creating that environment and sustaining it can be a bit of a challenge. Yeah. Career objectives are ever evolving. That's the one thing I have come to learn. There's no destination, it's a journey. I'd highlight some of the critical areas I've learned. People skills, learning how to deal with people. In my line of work, I will speak to president, I will speak to cabinet secretary. At the same time, I'll still need to speak to the messenger, I'll still need to speak to the rider, because they're all part of the work. So knowing how to deal with people, engage with people is very critical. In the next 2 years, I expect to still be doing my best, whatever role I will have. I've had a very interesting journey. I've had very good bosses. That's one thing I really appreciate. I've had very good bosses who are mentors up to today, the people I started with, including President Arik of PRSK. He was one of my first, it was actually I think my first boss in PR. I was still in university then, and I was a volunteer. Again, another thing, don't disregard volunteer work. That's where I started. So yes, it's been a good journey. I wouldn't change it at all.